Jaguar Wright just exposed everyone that Jada cheated on Will Smith with, and how Jada still compares Will to Tupac almost 30 years later. Will's marriage to Jada and their decision to allow other men into their lives is finally being seen for what it really is. Why is Will Smith still with Jada? Will things ever get better for him?
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. No, because she don't just...
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table.
Will and Jada got married less than a year after Jada's self-described love of her life. Tupac died, and since the day they married, Jada couldn't help but feel as if Will was a downgrade. She even said multiple times that she never wanted to marry Will. In an interview with People's Mag in 2019, Jada said, "I never wanted to get married, but my mother was like, you have to get married. She's so old school, and Will wanted a family. So I said, all right, maybe it's something I should do." Even after their marriage, Jada brought up Tupac continuously, and in one interview, even called him the greatest man she ever met, and recalled a story about how Tupac proposed to her before his death, and how she never actually planned to marry Will, or even liked him that much. Pretty much everyone who heard this had the same reaction. Why is Jada putting down her husband for a man who died 3 decades ago?
I mean, Tupac has been dead for about 27 years, so if this proposal did take place, and I'm not trying to doubt my sister at all, but if the proposal did take place, you're talking 30 or more years or so ago. Why is that coming up now? To me, the only reason why I could think that she would bring that up is it's possible that Will might harbor some insecurities over her relationship with Tupac, and she probably felt that that is one of the few things she could bring up to actually get under Will's skin. Because when you look at achievements, Tupac would be probably one of the only rappers who could rival Will in terms of overall success. Now, of course, Will doesn't have the hip hop success, of many rappers, but when you add in his acting and what he has done on the big screen, there's not many people who can compete with his body of work. Tupac would be one of them because he was also an actor. And had he not been taken from us, who knows how many box office hits Tupac would have had.
For most people, having your wife call you a downgrade and continuously talk about their ex would be the worst day of their life. Unfortunately for Will Smith, that was just the start. In 2011, while Jada was working on Hawthorne, a medical drama with co-star Mark Anthony, rumors began to come out that Jada was having an affair with Mark. At the time, Mark was married to Jennifer Lopez, and both Jada and Mark denied all rumors. Call it a coincidence, but months later, Joe divorced Mark. Now fans thought that this basically confirmed that Jada and Mark were having an affair, and Will would leave Jada. But instead of divorce, a few months later, in 2013, Jada said, "Here is how I will change my statement. Will and I both can do whatever we want because we trust each other to do so. This does not mean we have an open relationship. This means we have a grown one." Fans took this as Will staying with Jada, despite an alleged affair, and being forced to open the relationship instead. Brother Bilal, Will's best friend at the time, recently confirmed this.
So let's go back to the other story of Jada stepping out. So, and this has already been out there, but I can confirm it. So when they did Hawthorne, Jada starred Mark Anthony, who is J-Lo's husband, right? They did a TV show called Hawthorne.
Is that why they divorced?
So
Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony.
Yeah. So so let me go a little bit.
Okay,
deeper.
go ahead.
Let's go a little bit deeper. So this is a full-on relationship on the set, like romantic relationship. Not okay. I just gave him some and that's it. Like it's a relationship. So, you know, Will hears about this and kind of devastated. At this point, this is where you see all the papers are going crazy. A divorce is imminent and so forth and so on. The final straw is when Will came home and caught Jada, King Mark Anthony on the couch at their home, right? And this devastated Will, right? I even had a conversation when Will wanted to kill himself.
Most fans couldn't believe that Will, one of the most successful actors of all time, was okay with allegedly being cheated on several times and felt that Will was being forced to accept an open relationship. Will even talked about this in his memoir. Will went on Oprah and said that he didn't have an open relationship with Jada, and instead, it was them loving each other with freedom. As for what this freedom actually means, here's how Will explained it.
We never actually, officially separated. We agreed that she had to make herself happy and I had to make myself happy. And then we were going to present ourselves back to the relationship.
Both Will and Jada tried to make it sound like they didn't have an open relationship, but it doesn't take a genius to decode what loving each other with freedom actually meant. Every video that came out of the Smith family looked worse than the last, with fans commenting that Will looked incredibly sad. Then in 2023, Jada published her first memoir, Worthy, and in this book, she revealed that she had cheated on Will multiple times. When Will actually confronted her over on the set of Red Table Talk, Jada actually had the audacity to blame him for the cheating.
As promised, Jada Pinkett Smith brought herself to the red table, and surprisingly, her husband Will Smith joined her. They talked about pain, healing, and yes, Jada's entanglement with August Alsina.
It's all love.
Recently, Alsina revealed to the world that he was involved in a relationship with Jada while she was still married. And even though statements were released denying the affair, Pinkett Smith is now reluctantly confirming that the relationship did indeed exist.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business.
Yeah.
But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
During the 12-minute Red Table Talk episode, Jada sat down with Will to explain how she met August 4.5 years ago. But the friendship didn't turn into something more until she and Will were ready to call it quits.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Kick me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though.
Yeah,
Marriages have that.
Yeah, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Yes, we know entanglement is vague as hell, but thankfully, Will pressed her to be more clear.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
We also got clarity on the misconception that Will gave August permission to sleep with his wife.
The only person that could give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker.
Now, if you're like us, you're probably wondering why August? Well, we'll let Jada explain it.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Jada later went on and said that she was actually addicted to sex, and this was why she couldn't stay loyal to Will. Jada wanted to prioritize her happiness, and if that meant cheating on Will, then that was what she was going to do. According to Jada, not even your husband should come in the way of your happiness. Will finally agreed to Jada being with other men, and according to one source, told her to do whatever she wanted as long as he was in the loop.
Well, here's the thing. When they're together, Will's comfortable with that. Will's comfortable with someone like when he's there. Is when he's not there is the insecurities, because I can't tell you why, but I can tell you that there's a comfortability when men and women come in to have with them. Will's fine with that. So when this happened, Will kind of went crazy. You know, they would talk about the divorce rumors and so forth and so on. It was a big crisis management. Many people tell you Will was driving around California. I mean, just, he's gone. He brought Dwayne a club called Zen Lounge, and Will would come in there and just be drinking and like just, this wasn't the Will.
Will is willing to do whatever it takes to keep Jada by his side, even if it means being insulted by the entire industry. Jada was also trying to make it look like she and Will had an open marriage. Jada actually called it a transparent marriage, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out what that means.
Everybody talks about you all the time.
Right.
You know, just lots of rumors and tabloids and all of that. And you were very careful in the book, not in a whiny way or whatever. Let me clarify this.
Right.
Let me clarify these things that have been said. And one of the things that you are careful to clarify is it was never an open relationship.
Thank you. Yes, it was.
It was a transparent. You say it's a transparent relationship. And what do you mean by that?
So transparent meaning, look, I wasn't gonna fool myself into thinking that we as 20-some-year-olds, babies, mind you, getting married and living in Tinseltown, spending a lot of time apart, okay, that we weren't gonna run into temptation situations.
You're young, beautiful, rich, temptation.
Right.
You're apart a lot. Temptation is raining down.
Right,
on you.
exactly, right? And I'm like, hey, we gotta be in partnership with this. Like, I wanted to face it head on and just go, I didn't want to create a culture of deceit or betrayal between us. And I just wanted to be real about it from the gate. I had seen so much just with, I knew what street fame brought dudes, okay? I knew what street fame brought, and I'm like, if street fame does that, I can only imagine what global fame does. And from me, my own experience walking into rooms, all eyes on me, and how intoxicating that was as a young woman. You know what I mean? It's like I had been there and done that, you know, in regards to my earlier years before I met Will, but I just knew that I just wasn't gonna set myself up that way. But it was never an open marriage, you know, and like either one of us get to do whatever we want to do. That was never the case.
As you say in the book, it's about eliminating the possibility of betrayal.
Yeah.
If something happens or you want it to happen, talk about it.
Absolutely.
Which is the healthiest way to go in.
Listen.
Because it happens to everybody.
Listen, if you expect to be with somebody forever, it's like, let's get real with it from the gate, you know?
Jada called her time with men other than Will an entanglement. When Will heard his wife openly bragging about cheating on him and saying that he couldn't make her happy, Will started crying on air. Now, if that doesn't tell you just how comfortable Will is with the open marriage thing, I don't know what will. Jada allegedly broke down Will to the point that Will was going on interviews and saying that no one can make his wife happy.
The GOAT relationship advice for me is that it's impossible to make a person happy. Don't even play the game, and don't try to have a person make you happy. That you have to discover your happiness and cultivate your happiness on your own, and they have to cultivate theirs on their own, and you come together sharing the happiness you have versus trying to get happiness from them. That was a big one for me. Like the retirement from trying to make people happy. And all my relationships got that.
Some Tams point towards Jada's constant lack of respect for Will and how she seemingly uses her platform to air their private struggles as evidence that the relationship is one-sided. Beyond the entanglements, Jada has been open about her battles with various addictions, including which she discussed on her show, Red Table Talk. She described these issues as a way to fill a void, further complicating her marriage with Will. The worst part about these confessions, however, was the fact that Jada did them with her daughter right next to her. Jada was laughing while talking about cheating on Will and being addicted to while Willow was sitting next to her. looking extremely uncomfortable.
Have you ever had an addiction? Yes, I've had several.
Jada Pinkett Smith opens up about her struggles with addiction.
I'm hoping that it will give people the freedom also in their lives to find their truth.
The 46-year-old actress got extremely candid on the latest episode of her hit Facebook Watch series, Red Table Talk, where she revealed her addiction to sex.
My sort of addictions jump. They jump around. When I was young, I definitely think I had a addiction of some kind. Yes, that everything could be fixed by.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or
It's the behavior.
It's the behavior that's attached to it. Because if you want to have a lot of that's great, but why are you having all that? That's what you gotta look at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wasn't the only obstacle she's faced.
I became a gym addict. I was just in the gym constantly, and then I remember reaching a rock bottom. That time I was in the house by myself, and I had those 2 bottles of wine and was going for the 3rd bottle, and it was like, now hold up. You in this house by yourself going on to your 3rd
That's gangster.
bottle of wine. You
What's
might
going
have
on?
a problem.
Jada says she was able to combat the issues herself.
I went cold turkey. That's the thing about me. I can go cold turkey.
Yeah.
I am a binger, and I always have to watch myself and just how I can get just obsessed with things. And, you know, it's not what you're doing, but how you're with it.
Jada allegedly did more than just talk about inappropriate behavior while being next to Willow. According to Jaguar Wright, Willow was so traumatized by how Jada treated her father that she even wrote a letter to Tupac when she was 12, asking Tupac to come back so Jada could be happy. This letter is actually very telling about what might be going on in the Smith household. Even Willow knew as a 12-year-old that Will would never be able to make Jada happy.
You think about it, what 12-year-old kid would write a letter to their mother's former love who passed away and said, please come back so my mommy can be happy? Like, did anybody ever really talk about that? It was said and people just gloss right over it. That was a huge red flag for a kid.
It is.
Like, when they talk about it and they say it, you know, so politically correct, it lands different. But if you say it how it actually is, like really, how it actually is, wow. Your kid had to cut her hair off.
Moving on to what was happening inside their house, Jaden and Willow were both exposed to adult content from a very young age, and it's all because of Jada. Brother Bilal claimed that he saw this with his own eyes while he was over at Will Smith's house. Allegedly, Jada would watch this content in the middle of the house while her kids were there, and some of the videos that she was watching actually involved her and Will. Imagine exposing your kids to harmful content like that.
You know, about the they were doing allegedly to certain people and all that. And I told you that Jada was addicted to. So how Jada would watch at the houses, she had her laptop, she would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So now, I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm gonna let people know who you've been hitting with them. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember, your wino's gonna remember it. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm gonna sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do, period. And I gotta have evidence. So we not playing, that's why they didn't sue. So back to these discs with all these, this homemade on it or whatever, okay? Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house with this alleged on it, right? Jada thought, so now we're getting into why she's even more mad. So Jada thought I had something to do with the disc being stolen, right? And one thing that they allegedly did was report it stolen. So whoever comes out with this video or tape or anything have stolen property. They're going to jail, right? Okay, now, that's why me and Jada's relationship got to be so toxic towards the end, because she thought I stole these videos. So they're
videos of her
with other people. But I saw some of the video. Mind you, when Jada at the house.
Was any of them allegedly MC Light?
Yes.
I just had that was just
why didn't you let me say that?
See, I just my own opinion.
Come on, Ty,
I have no dog in this fight.
Oh,
But I
goodness.
always felt like, in my opinion, that her and MC Light kind of had something going on, and they used men, Will and MC Light's husband, to cover it up.
So.
And then we had a lady that came to sit on the show that said she saw MC Light and Jada at a known gay club for lesbians.
Every parent would be horrified if they found out that their child was being exposed to this kind of content at such a young age. But Jada didn't care. In fact, she actually encouraged it, and later in the same episode, she actually told her mom, Willow's grandmother, and Willow that she would love to introduce them to the things she watches. Jada said that she has been addicted to for quite some time.
And then you have that it's more sensual. This, you know, it's like it's very sensual, very done in a very artistic way. You know, you slow motion.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know,
All
very
right.
exactly.
Jada, Willow, and Adrian talking a little at the Red Table, a new episode that streams Monday on Facebook Watch.
Talking a little more. The ladies get into some heavy conversation, though. And props to Willow, who has sat through some serious TMI.
I can imagine if my mama and my grandmama were having some of the conversations that they have had at this table, and you got to get up and instead you give a, wow, yeah. Ooh. And I take that as a signal of like, okay.
Right. Yeah, she can really give some expression. If I was still on my game, I'd be able to show you some good, because back in the day I had a little addiction.
Jada Pinkett Smith getting candid about her past struggle with porn.
I actually feel like I was using maybe addiction a little lightly, and maybe I will say now that I had an unhealthy relationship to porn at one point in my life where I was trying to practice abstinence.
There are some rumors that Will tried to speak up about this behavior, and Jada kicked him out of the house for this.
It's been beautiful.
What does that beauty look like for you day in and day out? So are y'all living together?
It's just this beautiful connection. We will.
Look at that.
Not right now.
But you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's.
Why do you say that with such a
clarity?
Because that's what it's gonna be.
That's where it's headed.
Yeah.
And you both are on that page.
Yeah, and you know, but right now I really do enjoy my space.
Yeah.
You know, I've been living
alone.
I am my mother's only child.
Yeah.
Right? And so having this time that I've had to myself has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Just to get to know me, you know, even to have my house exactly how I want it. I don't have to be like, well, what color do you want this wall? You know what I mean? I can just do it.
You're the chooser.
I'm the chooser.
You're the chooser.
Right.
So when you imagine your life back together, because I'm sure you've seen it, how does that look to you?
We don't know yet.
You'll build that.
We'll build that, and it'll be something new.
This discussion actually started with Jada laughing about how she caught Willow watching hardcore adult material back when she was younger. Most parents would be horrified to see this, but Jada instead tried to introduce Willow to the kind of things she liked. At some point, you have to realize that Jada might not be the most responsible mother in the world.
Nothing to do with me. So I was like, okay, so she's just scrolling, and when I tell you I saw some of the most hardcore Tumblr.
Mom, it really wasn't.
It was hard.
It really wasn't.
It was
She's
hardcore for you
overreacting.
to be seeing at freaking 11 years old.
Tumblr,
I could
Tumblr,
not believe that.
No,
I was
Tumblr
like,
is more of the
kids.
artistic aspect of it, though.
Not what I saw. Wasn't nothing artistic about that. I saw some
I don't
hardcore
remember
stuff.
what you saw, but
Yeah,
what I know
remember graphically.
What I
was
know
like-
about Tumblr.
I was like, Willow, and she was like, don't even pay attention to it. We're getting to my page. I was like, I can't believe kids are exposed to this on a daily basis. I was profoundly disturbed.
But the thing that I will say, though, is that because I had you and Daddy to actually like have real conversations with, that stuff didn't really affect me because I knew I had a connection with people that I could talk to about it and knew like what the reality of it was.
Let me ask you a question, because back in the day, for my generation, started in magazines, and then you had to like go to a CD store to get a VHS tape. Like you had to like.
We didn't have access.
We didn't have access to it like that. So if you know, really go on an adventure to go see some. Whereas for your generation, it's on your phone. It's pocket.
Your pocket.
What have you seen in regards to your generation? Do you know boys that are fascinated with, or like who have a specific?
I mean, I have 2 brothers.
Yes,
so
you do.
They're not addicted to.
They're not addicted to, but like I've seen some stuff.
Right.
What? What is going on?
That's a TMI moment. All right. All right.
She's like, I can't take it.
I can't. I think I'll probably be in too much shock to even converse about.
There's also the fact that Jada introduced Jaden to G and openly brags about being a yeast dealer in her youth. I wasn't going to depend on anybody growing up. In the streets, it was either you were the girlfriend to a dealer or you were the drug dealer, and I wasn't going to be the girlfriend. So I looked to dealing to give me the life I wanted. One femme commented on the situation, saying she gave her own son dangerous trace. It can cause psychosis or worse.
And recently you've opened up and talked about back in your early days when you were younger, you said that you were a dealer and you said you just decided that this one little piece was important to share.
A bad one at that.
You,
yeah.
You weren't even a good dealer.
I wasn't a good one.
Oh, no.
But you said it was finally time to share. So why was now the time?
Well, I felt like there had been, and still is, a lot of missing pieces to my relationship with Tupac, and I know that there's a lot of intrigue around it, and I know that a lot of times people, you know, kind of connect us romantically, but I think also it was time to share, because I really had an existential crisis in regards to realizing how far I had come, and having started in one place and had come out of a certain lifestyle and watched a friend go into that lifestyle, and always thought, you know, the higher power would bring him through.
Everybody knew that I was very unhappy, but just couldn't figure out why. Because everybody thought how I thought. You've got everything. What is wrong with you? Because I didn't know what was wrong with me either. Because you have to remember, during that time, no one was really talking about mental health.
Yeah. Ayahuasca really was...
That was the turning point.
So that in and of itself turned you from the brink of...
And I never had a suicidal thought again. Now, in saying that, ayahuasca is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I want to be very clear about that. You have to really have someone who's very trained to guide you through that. It was a very extreme, you know, situation for me, but I swear I'm so grateful that I went through it, because in 4 days, I had 4 excruciating nights, but on the other side, I never...
And you never had a suicidal thought since then?
Never.
Jada and Will keep trying to justify Jada's habit of cheating. Every time the rumors come out, they claim that it's an open relationship, and then they're like, it's not an open relationship. Fans can't help but notice that Jada keeps laughing about the open relationship concept, while Will starts crying every time. Rumors of Jada being with another man are brought up. There has been some speculation that having an open marriage is the condition Jada set if Will wanted to stay married to her. At this point, it's hard to ignore the pattern. Whether you believe Jaguar Wright's claims or not, one thing is clear. This relationship has been anything but normal, and the public is only seeing fragments of what's really going on behind closed doors. So what do you think? Is Will choosing to stay, or is there more to the story that we're not being told? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.